Today we're gonna go teach some people how to cook for their kids.
Yeah! Okay, what is Aquafaba?
The things I can do with this liquid, I've also made whipped cream with this stuff.
It smells like Cancun.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You look scared.
How am I doing, Coach?
Pretty good.
Oh my god, it is so sticky. That is crazy.
Scrape all that out. All of that is gold. I'm gonna leave you to this disaster.
Well done.
I'm so curious about that potato sauce. I mean, cheese sauce.
Let's do it. We'll find out real quick if that's in your eye. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't think you are.
Oh, that is so good.
Well, and they're crispy too, right?
They're really,
There's no oil.
Yeah. Is that tofu? That's tofu.
Oh no! Oh. Uh-oh. Today we are going to visit some people who want some meal ideas and snack ideas for their kids. Well, thanks for taking the time to do this. So you're starting to eat more plant-based, or what is it? What's going on with your family in terms of that?
We did start eating more plant-based by virtue of, number one, it is a little bit less expensive when you're eating proper proportions, but number two, it's also really, really tasty and really, really good for you. So why wouldn't you?
And I know you've been playing around with a lot of stuff, so you're at least in the intermediate towards advanced method of eating this way. So what are some things that are curiosities of yours that you want to play with more that you haven't kind of dove into, that are some things you might want to learn or just to enhance your skills?
I'm gonna say just like more like kid-friendly meal options, probably.
Have you guys ever played with like tofu nuggets?
Not yet.
We more so just turn them into cubes and then have fun with it from that perspective.
Yeah. So maybe one thing we could do, and that's a fun thing to get kids involved with if they want to play too, is just because it's just breading it, right? But it still keeps it a little bit bland. But what's fun with that is then you can have like fun with like different dipping sauces, right? So you could just use like ketchup or mustard, but you could also make, like, for you guys, we could make like a spicier buffalo kind of sauce or like a peanut sauce.
Spicy stuff.
The buffalo sauce for me.
So we could pick like a couple things that are simple to make that could like up your weeknight meals in that realm. And for your picky guy, what are his go-tos? Like, what does he like for lunch now?
I usually give him like either pasta or rice for the carb, because that's like potatoes. They kind of lose their luster when they're in the thermos the whole day.
Yeah.
And then for protein, it's either like fish or chicken. So I'll just like cut it up. Sometimes I'll make like chicken nuggets for him, and then vegetables, I just cut up some cucumbers and peppers. And even for their morning snack, like they always have a granola bar, which is great and convenient. And I wanted to try and kind of make my own. Like they have to be like nut free and all of that jazz, which is annoying because
Oh, do you want a healthy granola bar recipe?
Yep.
Done. We'll do that too.
Please.
No, it's
like
correct.
a school friendly one.
It'll be nut free and oil free.
Wow.
But
I'll take it.
Chewy with a little bit of crisp and super customizable.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, great. I got lots of ideas here. Okay, fun. But I'm looking forward to it.
Same here.
Thank you, Jeremy.
What's interesting about these people, and I'll let them talk about it themselves, is they created a pretty cool kitchen invention that I think a lot of you would love. Today, we're gonna make a bunch of things. We are gonna make granola bars. We're gonna make tofu nuggets and a couple sauces to go with it. I'm gonna show them how to make crispy French fries without using any oil. And I'm also gonna make I'm calling it a Mexican cheesy casserole that they can eat on another day from now. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I made up this recipe this morning. It's a combination of a bunch of things I've made before that I know will taste good together, but it's a little bit of an experiment. And I don't think their kids are gonna be here today, sadly, so I don't know if we're gonna get taste tests on the fly, but I'll get them to make videos that we can throw out at the end of this video to let us know what the kids thought. Hopefully they don't hate this stuff. Just want to jump in here quickly to give some shout outs to some people who have said hello to us in the comments recently down below. Dominique from Gatineau, Quebec. Britt and Clara from PA. I'm assuming you mean Pennsylvania. That's what I'm putting here. as a visual. Monica from Sydney, Australia. Shirley from Georgia. Hanu from Finland. I hope I said your name properly, Hanu. It's Hannu. Let me know if I didn't. Tracy from Canyon, Texas. Candace from Listowel. Jane from Tipperary, Ireland. Melissa from New Orleans. And Vegan Mama D from where I live most of the time, Toronto. If you'd like a shout out, you can obviously just say hello down below, but the best way to do it and to get to the top of the list is to become a member of our channel over on the Mighty Network. There's lots of other benefits to becoming a member. You also get a monthly live stream that only those members get. You get early access to videos, and you also just get to be part of an awesome community with dialogues going on daily where you can all communicate with each other. So the link to join that is down below. It's a really, really low monthly cost, and it also helps us to keep the channel going and all of those fun things. So consider joining and becoming part of that little additional evolution to this channel down below. All right, let's get cooking. Hi, come on in. This is your house. I'm inviting you over. We're gonna be all over the place in all these recipes because to make the timing work, we can't just do one at a time. Otherwise, we'd be here for twice at a time. We're gonna make some Mexican rice first in the Instant Pot. And so that way we can be working in the background.
Nice.
But while we do that, I'll probably get some of you to start cutting up some other vegetables and things that we're gonna need for later on.
I'll cut.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Later on, we're gonna be making a bunch of sauces for the tofu nuggets, and the fat component of that is gonna be cashews. Measure out a cup of these, and then just soak them in hot water while you're prepping other things.
Yeah.
It'll just help soften them for the blender, and a lot of times, if you have a really high-speed blender, it'll be soft enough either way, but I find this doesn't hurt, so you might as well do it. We'll throw those over there. The reason why we press tofu is it helps the texture a little bit. It also helps it absorb flavors more, right? Because tofu is essentially a sponge. So if it's got all the water in it still, when you do a quick marinade, it won't soak up as much, right? It's like if you're covering tofu in sauce and other things, you don't necessarily need to do the marinade. It doesn't make a huge difference, but it's a nice extra step. And I thought I'd just show you how to do it in case you wanted to. Just kind of wrap this around it. Use a kit. Yeah, just wrap it all around. So just fold it up like a Christmas present. Perfect. Grab that heavy thing and just plop it on top. And that's like a homemade tofu press. Leave it for about a half hour. Next, we are going to make some Mexican rice. So the first thing I need to do is I need one of you to dice up an onion. You said you like to cut?
Not onions, but sure.
This is the easiest way to dice an onion.
Okay.
And if you already know this, I apologize, but if not, this is something for you to learn. So I like to cut this off. The reason I mostly do that is now we have a flat surface. I'm not gonna slide as much or cut myself. We want this to stay intact because as soon as this is gone, the onion falls apart. And then we're gonna cut it right down the middle. Now this is where it gets really easy to peel the onion away because you can just peel it from that cut end. And depending on the onion, like see how it's really green here?
Yeah.
I might just do away with this top layer because it's gonna be rougher and weird anyway. So I'll put that on the side, and I like to keep a little bag of vegetable scraps that I'll make my own vegetable broth with. And then to dice an onion, you basically just cut it into rows. You don't wanna go all the way back though, right? You wanna go to like 80%. Slice it somewhere in the middle, watch your fingers. Not bad, right? And that's it.
Okay. Let's
Roll.
roll like the
First
pros.
tip, when you hold, curl, because you know why? You might nick that, but you can't cut that off.
Depends on how high I go, but I agree.
Yeah, so it's the crab claw. So whenever you're holding onto a vegetable.
Yeah.
And the other technique, just for like, you were commenting on the way I rolled the knife, right? If you keep the knife against your knuckle, you can't cut yourself because you're already further away, right? And that's how people go fast because they're using the knuckle to guide how far away they are from the vegetable too, and you're also not all over the place.
You're gonna make a vegetable stock? We're gonna make a vegetable stock.
Yeah, like we just keep like a plastic, like mini garbage bag in our freezer, and all the scraps, like ends of carrots, anything, throw it into that bag when you've got a couple handfuls, put it in a pot like that, fill the pot full of water, throw it on boil, and then let it simmer for half an hour. Drain the vegetables out and just pour it into like mason jars. Any herbs that are getting sad in your fridge, throw the herbs in there too. Lemon rinds are good too. So if you have if you're using lemon for anything, throw the rind into the broth bag too. Because lemon will just, a little bit of citrus or acid will help the broth as well. And what I like to do for this rice in particular is I like to toast the rice first. We're gonna throw this in because it's on saute already, and we're gonna just kind of let it sit there. And do you have whatever your spoon is used for that? There we go. And we're kind of wait for it to crackle a little bit. You'll hear it kind of popping like popcorn a little bit. And it just brings out a nuttiness in the rice, especially for this dish. I like it. A quarter cup or so's worth of that, a bit more.
Does it have to all be very precise like that, or is it just?
Baking has to be a bit more precise.
Yeah.
Cooking's a science, cooking's an art.
Yeah, you can kind of let it go. For this, like the water ratio to the rice matters because otherwise it would be too dry or it'd be too wet. We're gonna throw the onion in here to get it steaming up with everything else. Okay, that's good to go.
I'm like, it's so satisfying to do that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it was.
Well, you can stay over there and do that if you'd like.
Come on, sorry.
Let's get just shy of a teaspoon of all of these.
Okay.
The other thing you could add to this, if you wanted to, is you could dice up some jalapenos or any other kind of peppers you like.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely the kind of thing that you can customize to your own spice levels.
Yeah.
So if you want to just add in the liquid, just dump it in. There we go. Yeah. Oh, it smells good already.
I know.
Put that on the rice setting, and it'll do its thing because the Instant Pot knows how to cook rice.
Yeah.
And then we'll leave it. And while that's cooking,
Wow.
we're gonna make some marinade for the tofu. We'll cut it, so we want it in nugget size pieces. So kind of square like.
Okay.
Half a cup of the vegetable broth in here. A quarter cup of that soy sauce. And if you can't have soy, use tamari.
Does it taste much different?
I don't find them taste that much different.
Tamari almonds, so good.
Yeah.
Soy almonds, I haven't tried.
We want to throw in a teaspoon of all of these. This is the largest thing of onion powder I've ever seen. You guys like onion powder.
We do.
And a tablespoon of that. And then that's it. And then we're gonna whisk it together. And this is like a basic marinade. You can also use this for tempeh, if you're cooking tempeh as opposed to tofu.
Okay, what is the difference and what does it taste like?
Traditionally, tofu is made from soy.
Yeah.
Tempeh is fermented,
Okay.
so it's healthier for your gut microbiome and those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Tempeh does traditionally have a nuttier flavor. It's a bit denser.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of boil that out a little bit by steaming the tempeh. And it's a bit firmer too, so it's good for making a bacon kind of thing. It's really great as in sandwiches that way.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also make nuggets and sandwiches and that kind of stuff with it too. Tofu is a bit more versatile and has a little bit less of a flavor.
Yeah.
But you can also make, I've never seen tempeh from other items, but you can make tofu from lentil.
Yeah.
Any bean you can technically make tofu from.
Yeah.
That is the biggest nugget.
So another half?
Yeah. What I would do maybe now
That?
is, that's a good size.
Nugget.
Yeah, cut each of these in half, and then pour it over top. And then we just want to make sure they all get a little bit of each, and then we can always stir this around in a few minutes.
How am I doing, Coach?
Pretty good. Yeah, as long as and then we'll just. That's great, actually. Yeah, even though it's not all sitting in it, it's at least got some on it to top. So this is the kind of thing that someone would probably say, oh, leave it in your fridge for a couple hours or overnight, and you can. Mm-hmm. Leaving it like that for 15, 20 minutes is enough too. It'll still get some flavor in there.
Okay.
Let's pop that in the fridge, and then we'll just remember to flip it in a few minutes. So we're just gonna soak these. It just, when you're putting dates into a food processor, I just find the softer the better.
Few moments later.
That's hot water. You want to call her?
Oh, okay.
Alright, he's fine.
My hands are dead. Dead from years of playing guitar and cooking. Throw those in. And then actually we can just process that right now the way it is. So just kind of scrape down the sides to keep everything inside. Sweet. What's great about this recipe is it's super customizable, right? So any of the nut butters we use today, you can swap out with another nut butter. We're gonna use, I think we picked tahini, but you could swap that out with peanut butter, almond butter, cashew butter, literally any other nut butter. If you're making it school safe, tahini's a good bet.
Yeah.
So we'll start off now. We're gonna throw in the nut butter and the maple syrup. Any of the nuts or the seeds we use today, again, you could swap them out with any other dried fruit, any other nut. If you want to make it school safe, don't use any nuts at all, just use different seeds. So instead of using, I think we'll throw some almonds in today, but you could just use more pumpkin seeds or even hemp seeds would be fine inside something like this. And then really it's the kind of thing, especially if you've got a really, really powerful machine like you've got here, start kind of just pulsing everything so it starts to break down. And the last thing we're gonna add is the chocolate chips. And you're stealing some chocolate chips? Back to work.
It's already good. Like baking optional.
My first iteration of this, I actually wasn't baking them. I was just like
Energy
patting
balls.
them down. Yeah, you could just take them as they are right now and roll them into balls and then eat them as energy balls. You could actually just like pack these down, put them in the freezer or the fridge so they solidify a little bit before you cut them. But I like to bake them, and that's okay. Let it hang over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want it to be able to come out later. Whether it's an 8x8 or 9x9 or whatever it is, they'll just either be fatter or taller or whatever. Like, don't stress out about having the exact perfect size of the dish for this. I find squares better. Pour that into there.
Wow, that's sticky. Is it so sticky because we soaked the dates?
It's a little bit of that. It's a little bit of the maple syrup helps a little bit, and also the tahini, right? And the beautiful thing about this is we're not using a drop of oil,
Yeah.
right? So all the fat and stuff. There's fat and stuff in here, but it's all like packed with fiber as well. It's not like
That's
good fats, good healthy fats that your body's going to absorb slowly as opposed to quickly. All right, want to know the trick to patting this down evenly?
yeah.
Dampen your hands. It's kind of a rustic thing, right? So if it's not perfect, it's okay.
Oh my god, it is so sticky. That is crazy.
So let's check the rice. Let the steam dissipate. It smells good, right? Want to get in here, Andy? This would be good just with anything. You could put this with, tacos or burritos, or now like this is just a good general rice to use for anything. But what we're gonna do later on is we're gonna mix this with lentils, some salsa, and a cheese sauce, and that'll be a casserole that you can bake later on.
Nice.
And then after you bake it, then what I would do is sliced avocados on top, and then crumbled up like tortilla chips. And if you like olives.
It's got great flavor. It needs a little salt.
Yeah, that's okay.
A little bit. But the spices are really good together. Like that's Mexican rice.
Wow, that is really softer than when I make it.
Right? But you don't make it with all that all the time.
No, but it's like that's really, really good. That's really, really good.
Yeah, the tomato sauce probably made it a little cream, or the tomato paste probably made it a little creamier as well.
For sure.
And the beauty of cooking rice with other things, it just absorbs, it soaks inside of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like marinating the rice at the same time.
This is really, really tasty. I really like it.
I like that you dug your nose in there.
It smells
because it
amazing.
smells
it's
like
absolutely incredible.
It smells like Cancun.
Just jumping in here to remind you of our t-shirt contest. All you have to do to enter is give us an idea for a t-shirt that we can put into our merch store. A graphic idea, a plant-based phrase, something from our channel, whatever you want. Use hashtag shirt contest and make sure you get your entry in by February 11th. And then on February 24th, come back to see if you won. We're gonna pick up to 3 winners, and whoever wins, they're gonna get their copy of their own shirt. Kind of like this shirt that's available now in our merch store. Back to the video. And you can kind of go fast.
Look at it go.
Right?
That was good.
Go slow at first. Like, don't feel like you need to go the speed I was going.
How are you doing, Coach?
That's pretty good. The only thing you're missing,
Lies.
No, the only thing you're missing, and I'll let you do this off to the side while we get the rest of the stuff, is that the way you can go fast is that rolling motion. Is kind of like pushing.
Okay.
And that just takes practice. The next thing we're gonna do is set up a station to make basically a breading station. Have you guys ever breaded like fish or chicken or anything like that?
Yes.
So you guys, so you've done something like that before. First thing we need to do is make buttermilk though. We're gonna take non-dairy milk, whatever kind you guys grab, and just mix it with some apple cider vinegar. And just let it sit for a few minutes, and that'll create like the similar version of a buttermilk. I'm only showing you this. It's like one of those things I always feel like I'm mansplaining when I start showing people how to cut vegetables, but I'm always told by people that it's like, I never thought they'd cut it that way. So for a pepper, the way I like to break down a pepper when I'm just dicing it is to cut the top off like this, because that pops right off. Do the other end. And then just, you can see the bell is still in there. So we just want to kind of like slice along here and then just cut where the little pithy kind of things are. And then that's all it. And then that goes in the broth section. And then now we just, these we'll dice those on their own, but these, I'll then break this down into smaller pieces, like ribbons. What's that?
See how he's rolling?
It takes practice to get used to it, and then it's like riding a bike, right? Where like now I can do it kind of in my sleep. But trust me, it takes your time to be able to like get comfortable.
At the end there, just
okay, great. Good job. Talking to you like you're a child. Good job, Eric.
It's okay. It makes me feel good like a child.
Okay.
You get a chocolate chip. Unless Annie ate them all. Did you eat them all, Annie?
That's okay.
Annie ate them all. Never mind. You don't get any chocolate chips. I'm sorry.
I won't be sad.
Annie took your reward.
Okay, a cup and a half? No,
A cup and a quarter. A teaspoon of these three, and then we want a tablespoon of the paprika and the nooch. So the granola bars are ready. Oh, yeah. So they're a little on the brownie side. These are okay. They're not burnt by any means. But so what we want to do is just kind of let these chill out and cool, because they'll be easier to cut. So now we're gonna throw the potatoes on to boil. We'll have to keep an eye on this. So we'll all have to be diligent, and once it's up to a boil, we don't want to let it go for more than 5 minutes. And then we're gonna set up our tofu nugget station. By the time those are done, we can kind of put all of the nuggets and the fries in at the same time, because they take about the same amount of time to cook.
Okay.
So the nice thing with this marinade is you can keep it and use it for like your next batch.
Okay.
Like it'll stay fine in the fridge for at least a week or two. Just take it out of the marinade and shake it a little bit. We're just gonna toss it around inside here, into the buttermilk real quick, into the flour.
The double flour.
Double flour, you gotta do the double flour, right? This is where my hands start getting soggy. Back in the milk,
Oh, wow.
and now
Dairy triples.
I tripled. Well, that was still a double. And then really you just wanna like let this do its job, and not touch it too much, and then we're good.
That's so pretty.
I'm gonna leave you to this disaster.
Well done.
And while you're doing this, I'm gonna cut up the vegetables we need to make our cheese sauce for the Mexican rice.
Nice.
And I'll keep an eye on
potato?
potatoes.
Is this
Yeah, there's
potato?
potatoes, and yeah, we're gonna make a cheese sauce with carrots and potatoes. Oh my goodness. Hi, Annie. Hi, Annie. Bye, Annie. So what we'll do is, while we're waiting for those to finish, is we're gonna make a little spice mix to put with those. So we need like a teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and chili powder. What you're gonna do is put these back into that pot.
Yeah.
Take this seasoning mix
Yeah.
and kind of sprinkle it over the whole thing. Like maybe like put some in, sprinkle a little bit, put some in, sprinkle a little bit,
Okay.
kind of like buttering like popcorn, like a layered popcorn approach. And then once they're all in, put the lid on, and then just shake the hell out of it for about a good 5 seconds. Yeah, now add the rest. Great. So you see how they're kind of breaking apart like that? That's what's gonna make them crispy. Just kind of spread those all out so they're as even a layer as possible. If we need a second baking sheet, we can grab a second one. They overlap a little bit because they'll kind of bake together and get crispy that way too.
Okay. So
It's just more you want an even layer for the baking of it. Scrape all that out. All of that is gold. So we want to bake both of these together at 425 for 25 minutes. But put it on for like 13 because we're going to want to kind of give those a reshuffling and flip these over halfway through. Okay, so while that's happening, we're going to start the cheese sauce for the Mexican lentils. And then after that, we're gonna make the dipping sauces for this.
I'm so curious about that potato sauce. Cheese sauce.
Let's do it.
Cheese sauce.
And while we're here, tell the people about your amazing invention.
This is our baby, our third child, as we call it.
Splatty?
Or Splatty, yeah, or Splatterdom. So it's a dual-sided, and we have it in 2 sizes. Splatter guard that goes on a stovetop. You can use it in a microwave also. So you either use it this way or you can use it that way. Halfway, full way, helps with splatters, helps with boil over, all the good stuff.
You might want to say what encouraged you to create something like this.
Our children encouraged us. Our children and their love for tomato sauce and the disaster that tomato sauce is.
I also love this hole. Like the ventilation hole,
Yeah.
it just lets some steam escape so it doesn't all build up.
So we're actually gonna have a plug.
Oh, that makes sense, because you don't always want the hole.
Yeah.
Well, not only just for that, but like you put a plug in and then
Seal.
you seal it.
Yeah.
Will this work?
Vacuum seal.
That's
It's
dirty,
a
so
bigger
it might
one.
not work, but hey, that worked. So
Yeah,
that'll a future iteration.
nice. Alright, and we'll put a link down below where you can order Splatterdom for yourself. Alright, let's cook some more. Yeah. So let's turn that on, and what we're gonna do is we are going to just saute on their own the carrots and the onions. What we're gonna do is we are gonna cook, soften up the carrots and the onions, and then we're gonna add in some liquid, some brothy kind of thing. Let's get a cup and a half of vegetable broth in there. 2 tablespoons of the soy sauce into there.
Did you catch that? Whoa.
Oh, it's starting to brown?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? The broth is for. I'm gonna toss that. Yep. Yeah. Put it all in. So we're gonna flip these. Get your clothes out while we do that one. I'll definitely use the flippy and slidey. Okay. So for the cheese sauce, basically we just need to cook this on like a little rolling boil until the potatoes and the carrots are soft.
Nice.
Like 10 minutes or so ish. Nice.
Slow is steady and steady is fast.
It smells so good in here from the oven.
Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Now you're just saying things. So I got you to get a can of chickpeas. We're actually not going to use the chickpeas, so you can save these and use these for another meal.
Okay.
Whatever you want to use them for. Throw into a salad, throw them into a soup or whatever.
Okay.
What we actually want is the liquid inside of here, which you would probably just throw out, right?
Yes.
The things I can do with this liquid are like I'll use it as a sauce to like help thicken up a sauce, but I've also made whipped cream with this stuff. Yeah, it froths up, like it works like egg whites.
Oh.
So it's also another oil swap.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to, like, say you're baking something and you wanted to put like an egg wash on something, you can use that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's
As long as it doesn't have any additives.
yeah, you want to ideally, if you're making your own chickpeas from like just cooking your chickpeas from raw, you can just use that water. It's great. And then for the canned ones, you just want to make sure there's no additives inside of it. This is just chickpeas, water, and salt. And this stuff, like once you have it, will last in your fridge at least a week. To do the smell test. Like give it a smell right now.
Yeah.
And then if it starts to smell funky based on that, that's when you would toss it.
So now if you use the dried chickpeas though, the liquid is like completely watery. This is a little
Yeah, so
thicker.
good question. So this is the consistency you want.
Uh-huh.
So when you cook your own chickpeas, then take that water and put it on the stove
Yeah.
and just cook it down until it's that consistency.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's like
It looks like egg whites.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would cook it down to get the consistency, and if you cook it in too much, add a little bit of water.
Got it.
Those are good. We did good on the
Yeah.
breading.
Yeah. Good job, Eric.
Yeah, Eric did great. I can't wait for him to eat his blob. We should just coat that like in sauce and not tell him it's.
Is it just the leftovers?
That's just the leftover that was on his fingers. So Eric's eating that.
Okay.
That's Eric's finger blob.
How is it, Dad?
They're good, and as they sit, they're gonna get crispier. Like you can just see how by smashing them, they get a little. They're a little soft actually, but
I'm a little good.
they'll crisp up a little bit as they cool. But then there's that turning point where the longer they sit, then they get mushy and weird. But that's okay. You guys can start eating these as soon as you want. Did you get tapioca starch?
Yes, I did.
Great.
Nobody knew where to find it in the grocery
Oh
store.
really?
Yeah.
It's often the kind of thing you like. They definitely all bulk stores would have something like this. But
We were looking at, so there was this, and then what's the other tapioca what?
Well, there was tapioca for pudding.
No, there was,
Yeah.
there's starch and there's something else, tapioca something in like small container.
powder,
Powder.
it's the same thing. They call it powder and they charge twice as much. It's the same thing.
See?
That was on camera, right? The world needs to know.
Yeah. And what's great about this cheese is that today we'll use it as a sauce. You can
Yeah.
use it like a queso, but whatever you don't use today, you could put in the fridge and it'll thicken up more.
Oh.
And then it becomes a great spread for like a grilled cheese or just on any sandwich or something.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to, and then whatever's left in that, you could freeze in small, like little increments, and then you could grate it like cheese,
Really?
and it'll melt on top. So it's kind of like an all-in-one purpose cheese.
I like how you said in one of your videos that it reminded you of the days where you made grilled
Grilled
cheese
cheese
as a
sandwich.
kid.
Yeah.
And with tomato soup.
But you would have had Kraft singles as a kid?
100%. It's better than that.
So this is exciting.
You take all the stuff that's in that pot and put it in the blender.
Okay.
Right in there. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you look scared.
Here, do you want me to?
One mistake. You can do this.
Just take your time. Take your time.
What's the liquid first?
Yeah.
That's good. Yes, I can do this.
It's like you've done it a million times.
Oh.
So now we want to add in a quarter cup of tahini, 2 of these of nutritional yeast, if there is 2 in there. We need like basically a half a cup plus a little bit, so that'll probably be close enough. Okay, and then we want to throw in 2 teaspoons of garlic powder and a teaspoon of paprika.
You want a?
Yeah, let's do this. We'll catch the seeds with our hands. So blend this with just this for now until it's really combined. Right?
It's really good.
Put 5 tablespoons of tapioca starch in. Now when you do put them in here, make sure they get spread around a little bit and try to keep them in the middle, because otherwise they'll
Yeah.
just end up on the sides of the blender and not getting mixed in. So we just need to do this time until basically all the tapioca starch is mixed in. Go for it.
So the sauce. So with this sauce, can you make the poutine? If you're doing like a mushroom gravy and a cheese sauce on top, kind of thing? Yeah. Did you ever try it?
No, but it would work. I mean,
Quebecers might hate you for it because this is not cheese curd. This is like.
no, but if you want like a cheese sauce, like, you can use it for anything you use queso for. Let's just make our buffalo sauce.
Let's.
Got hot sauce? Yeah? Is it super spicy? Do you like it super spicy? That's okay, that's why we're gonna make 2, because one's for you and one's for the kids.
Yeah.
That'll work. So this is where you can use any kind of hot sauce you want, depending on your level, your tolerance for spice. And you can also use less hot sauce and more vegetable broth.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna use Aquafaba because it's gonna make it creamier.
Okay, what is Aquafaba?
Aquafaba is the chickpea juice.
Oh, that's what it's called?
That's what it's called, Aquafaba.
Oh.
Yeah, chickpea juice, chickpea water, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna grab the oven. Let's do another. I mean, let's just use the rest of the bottle if you don't mind.
Is it in your eye? Tell me it's not in your eye.
Are you okay?
Is it in my face?
No.
Great.
We'll find out real quick if that's in your eye. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Not wrong.
I don't think you are.
You should have used a Splatterdom.
For this.
So now we're gonna add a cup of the Aquafaba. So this is the chickpea juice. So this is gonna kind of take the place, along with the cashews, of like adding like a stick of butter. This is gonna help thicken it up. Bit of a cup of those cashews pop in. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder and a half a teaspoon of the onion powder. Screw that lid on and lift it up.
Wow.
So now, let's get a little plate.
Oh, good. Mm.
Don't hog it. He said
You can get your own too. And you have to get your own.
That is so good. Wow.
Not bad, right?
I'm impressed.
And how's the sauce?
Really good. Not as burning as I thought it would be. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That apple cider vinegar just puts it all together.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You get more flavor
And
from
this
that than
is-
just traditional vinegar. And it kind of dilutes the sauce. Again, you could spice this up depending on the hot sauce you choose. It would change the heat level of it. But this gives it that buttery flavor, butteriness you want from like a buffalo sauce, but without all the added fat and oil from the butter. By using cashews and the Aquafaba. And if you're in a pinch and you don't have Aquafaba, you could use vegetable broth.
Yeah.
Too. Just the Aquafaba makes it a bit creamier.
Ingredients.
Here.
Anything.
Oh, the heat takes a second, eh?
Uh-huh.
Is that tofu? That's tofu. Do you like it?
Right. You can help yourself to some fries, guys, too, because the fries are probably starting to get cool.
This is crazy.
We'll try these before they get too soft.
Look at the crunch.
They're really good.
Want your fry, Jane?
Yeah.
All right, now we're gonna make green goddess sauce. This is not my recipe. This is a recipe by two wonderful women named Jan and Ann Esselstyn. We got this from their book, How to Be a Plant-Based Warrior Woman, I believe. But it's one of our go-tos now. We love it.
Cool.
So we want like a half a cup worth of like, you got basil, parsley, and cilantro here, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like about a half a cup's worth of each. Just grab it with your hands and just throw it into that. Now we're gonna throw in these cashews. 3 tablespoons of this. 2 tablespoons of this. 1 tablespoon. I keep on saying this. The viewers at home are going, what is all this? So that was apple cider vinegar. This is maple syrup, and that was lime juice. Here's a quick tip to making like any sauce in a flash. You need 3 to 4 elements to make any sauce work really, really well. So it's a fat, an acid, a salt, and a sweet. Right? And if you put those 4 elements together, it'll just automatically taste good. So here for our fat, we've got cashews. For our sweet, we have a little bit of maple syrup. For our acid, we have lime juice. And for our acid, we have apple cider vinegar. Now this, depending on how much of the greens we put in here, we might need to add a little bit more water, depending on the consistency of it. But we'll start with this and kind of So this is a little waterier than I would normally make it.
You can have more cilantro.
But why don't you taste it and see what you want more of? I mean, the beauty with this dressing too is like you can, now it's a salad dressing.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit thicker and it's a spread.
That's the one that something similar to that we used to make when we had the garden.
Yes. With any and every herb we had.
Yeah, more cilantro.
You can always add more cilantro.
Add more cilantro. Yeah, that'll help thicken it up too. Oh no! Oh. Uh-oh. We forgot about the cheese sauce.
It's super gooey.
It's gonna be, I just hope it doesn't have a burnt flavor now. So you see how thick it's gotten?
Oh, babe, look at that.
It's a little thicker than it should be because we forgot about it. This will be fine. We're just gonna turn it off now. And in a second we're gonna fold this into the rest of it. We've got all the elements here. So basically all we're gonna do right now is mix together the rice with those lentils. which we might have too many of, but we'll start. Oh, this is... I'm making a mess!
Is this the messiest cooking session you've ever had? Be honest.
I don't think so. They're all messy. If it's not a little messy, you're not really doing it right. And it's hard. I try to clean while I'm cooking, but it's kind of hard to do, especially when we're making as many things as we're making today. It's not that you're not doing a good job. It's just I'm making you do an impossible task.
Oh, the dog.
Let's mix it all together in here. This is gonna be so much easier to combine. Pour the cheese sauce on. A cup of salsa. Mix it all around.
Yeah.
And that's it. But it'll at least give you a sense of the general flavors.
You want one?
You found?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's for him.
I would never eat this.
That's really good.
This is like tacos.
Yeah.
This is absolutely perfect for that.
Spread it out evenly. When you go to bake it, you'll bake it at 350 for like 20-25 minutes. And then when it's done, throw on some of your fresh cilantro, some olives if you want, some sliced avocado, and if you got some tortilla chips you want to put on top, a little bit of texture. This makes about 16, right? But you can kind of cut it however you want to.
Yeah.
So I'll cut it in half.
That's really good.
Oh, wow.
That's really good.
That is really, really good.
It's like you know that there's dates in it, and you get that tiny little flavor of it, but it's not overpowering, and everything else is just so good together.
Boy,
We're not there yet.
tastes like a brownie. Yeah, that's a treat.
That's a compliment.
All right.
Yeah, it is.
You good?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just the tahini, which tastes pretty good. So if you want to make it more peanut butter and you're not worried about being school safe.
I forgot there's tahini in there. Don't even taste it.
It's like
It's just goodness.
Well, and they're crispy too, right?
they're really, really
There's no oil.
Yeah.
It's the tahini and the dates together, which makes it crispy.
And we store it where? Fridge? Or
I just put it in like like an airtight container.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't keep them in the fridge. If you were not to bake them and keep them raw, then keep them in the fridge. They'll be gone before they would even be close to be going stale. Thanks for letting us come into your kitchen and make a mess of it.
Thank you for coming over.
I hope
That was awesome.
I hope your kids will enjoy the food.
What's for dinner?
A tofu nugget, some Mexican rice, homemade fries, and some nachos.
Nice. What's the score, baby?
10 out of 10.
Whoa.
10 out of 10.
2 Michelin.
Whoa. Jeremy, did you get that? 10 out of 10. What you doing over there?
I'm making a taco with nachos, salsa, tofu. This might not look like tofu, but it is. And guac and
Avocado?
avocado on it.
All
Did
right,
I mention
do
the
this.
pickles?
Pickles, yeah.
And it's already bitten.
Okay. Do your
I
thing.
mean,
Because you had to taste test
yeah.
to make sure it's not poisonous.
That's for tofu.
So, buddy, out of 10, what would you give that?
One last taste test. 9.5.
Did Jeremy do a good job today?
Yeah.
Awesome. Dad, what do we think with the buffalo sauce?
I'm going to take a Pepsi tonight. This is amazing. All of it's so good.
Thank you,
And
Jeremy.
This is so good. The goddess sauce. Did I say that right?
Yes,
It thickened nicely, too.
in the fridge.
Thanks for joining me as I destroyed Eric and Anna's kitchen and taught them how to make some plant-based delights. Let us know what you thought of this video down in the comments below, and if you haven't subscribed yet, do so and like this video to let YouTube know to send this out to more people and to send you more of our content. Speaking of which, YouTube wants you to watch this video next. They've scoured your YouTube information, and they know you haven't watched it, or you desperately need to rewatch it. Either way, give it a shot. Thanks.